Welcome back to the What is Steelers podcast. It's just me, Amere, today, and we're going to talk about a big win over in Dublin. So, first and foremost, Pittsburgh won 24-21 against the Minnesota Vikings. And Steelers pulled out a win, but they managed to make the game come down to the wire, which gets a bit old. But I saw some good things, saw some May things, and just in general, I just feel like the team needs to finish games stronger, plain and simple. Coaching needs to do a little bit better, though. I feel like the Steelers coaching outcoached Minnesota for a good portion of that game until about the fourth quarter. And with that being said, here are some takeaways from the game. So first, I was looking at the offensive line a lot because I felt like they were going to be the indicator of how the offense was that game. What I've noticed, Broderick Jones looked more comfortable on the line. It's good, not hearing his name all the time, because usually when you hear an offensive lineman's name, that means they're not doing too well. So it was nice to see Broderick, step in the right direction. Same thing for the whole offensive line in general. It was good to see them step into the right direction. Now, moving on, Darnell Washington received way more playing time than counterparts like Jonnu Smith or Pat Freiermuth. I liked it. I feel like they need to get him more involved in the pass game because it's going to be hard to try to, take him down when he's 6'7", he's a big guy, and it's going to be hard to, get up there and make a pass make a catch or deflection. But, if a defender's trying to stop him, he's probably going to draw a pass interference or something along those lines. So I think it's pretty cool to see them getting used. And it's also a pretty good feeling to see some solid quarterback play. I think that was a huge takeaway from this game. Aaron Rodgers looked pretty good, especially on that 80-yard touchdown to DK Metcalf. That was a great play, and I loved it. So that was awesome there. And looking at some of the other takeaways, I think that the defense are taking advantage of their opportunities, but they're not doing it in the most efficient way. They're still giving up those big chunk plays, which cannot happen. That cannot happen. And going back to the offensive side of the ball a little bit, Kenneth Gainwell, he looked good in wake of Jaylen Warren's absence. So I think that'll be an interesting thing to look forward to, especially with the running back room here. Caleb Johnson got some reps. It was nice seeing him be able to get some rushes despite his blunders in the past. I had one other point that I was going to say. Oh, yeah. Defensively, they were still a bit soft within 10 yards. There was no reason why Carson Wentz should have had 350 yards that game, but I can't complain. Steelers won, so yeah. Now we're going to take a look at some of the metrics here, at least that I thought was interesting from the game, because I saw a few stats that trend in the right direction. So I had next-gen stats pulled up, and I looked at Aaron Rodgers' passing chart. He utilized middle of the field a lot more. Well, I wouldn't say a lot more, but I feel like they should utilize it a lot more. Rodgers was 4 for 4 with 110 yards with 1 touchdown when using the middle of the field from the line of scrimmage to the 20 yards out. So it was a good feeling to, see that. I just would like to see more of it, but I know with how this offense is set up, the passing game is going to complement the running game and vice versa. So I don't mind having this kind of balanced approach. Rodgers finished with 200 yards and 1 touchdown. I don't mind that because we got 130-plus yards on the ground. So once again, that's complimentary football, as Mike Tomlin was talking about, earlier on, I believe, in the week. And there's one more big takeaway. I think that defensive line looks amazing. T.J. Watt, Nick Herbig, Keanu Benton, Derek Harmon, Cam Hayward. I feel like they're all playing together as one unit, and it's evident. I feel like the energy is just feeding off of each other, and I love it, especially with Derek Harmon. I think he had that pass tip that led to an interception there. So that's always encouraging to watch from your young guys, I feel like that was just great. And there's just a few things that also could have been cleaned up, but honestly, that's just cosmetic issues and probably a coaching thing as well. So, some things that went wrong for the Steelers, injuries. I mean, you can't really help that, but losing Jalen Ramsey and Calvin Austin for some time may hurt. What else went wrong for the Steelers this week? I think that the Steelers' defense was still shaky, like I said earlier. On the offensive side of the ball, I feel like play calling needs to be a little bit better in key situations. For example, that 4th and 1 that caused some kind of debacle on the field. That should not happen. That should never happen. So, yeah, I just think some of that needs to be cleaned up here. Offensive side of the ball, I don't know. I just feel like offense was all right, solid, but once again, the play calling, that's a coaching thing. And I would say, if I had to play the game, it would be that DK Metcalf touchdown. I feel like that gave, the offense a spark, and that showed that, hey, this might be an interesting duo here with, Metcalf and Rodgers, and I like that dynamic. But I have a hot take brewing up for Thursday's episode. I'm not even gonna foreshadow it. I'll try not to do it in this week's episode, but I think this hot take may be a good one. But I'll give in. It's gonna be about someone on that defensive line. So that should give you a little indicator of what to think about coming ahead here. But that will wrap up the Week 4 reaction episode for the What is Steelers podcast. Once again, this is your host, Amere, and Carter will be back here Thursday when we do our podcast. See you guys Thursday.